Compromise beats.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Hangin with JK. Yay. Nobody cares. I care. Thank you, Tiffany.
You tried.
Alright guys, I have a question for you. Would you guys raise your kids any differently than you were raised?
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! You know how...
100%.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Not me.
Okay, let me
I'm
hear you.
fucking amazing, so I think like
Her dad's
whatever was done for me was great, so I would do the same.
She said
Nice.
the exact same thing.
Yeah. No, I mean my mom wasn't really around, but my dad did a really good job, and he was like the loose dad, like just do whatever you want, be home by 10, but he never I think I just respected him so much for giving me free space that I turned out pretty well, and I would do the same.
But I thought you said you don't like how you're so picky with food, so when you have kids, you want to start
That's true.
assimilating
That
them.
is one thing. I was kept into like a little bubble in Texas, in South Texas, so the only thing I know is
Don't blame it on
Tex-Mex
Texas.
food and white people food.
That's not true. When I went to her house, her dad was like, I'll cook anything for you. Just name anything.
He doesn't know what anything means, though. He's not gonna make you like Korean food.
No, I know, but then he was just so nice. Because
Yeah.
my parents were like,
Changed
this is what's
immediately.
fucking being made.
And
You
you
eat
eat
that shit. Because there's starving children in Africa. And you're being ungrateful. That's what they
Yeah,
used to
I
tell me
think-
all the
yeah,
time.
I
And
got-
if I didn't fucking finish it, just fucking die.
Dang. Well, you guys got home cooked meals. I would just
Yeah.
eat junk food. That was like my food growing up.
Lucky.
I survived off of like cereal and cup of noodles.
That's why you're so tiny.
You can still survive on
You have no
this.
nutrients.
I
You
didn't
see
get
salt.
nutrients.
So specifically, what would you change about how you were raised that you're now changing with your own boy?
I would
Isaac?
like to say that I would want to cook at home for my son because I didn't grow up with that, but I'd be a liar because I'm not doing that now. I'm not doing
What
it.
a
But Casey's
terrible
doing it.
mother.
So Casey makes me feel better.
But doesn't
He's
that mean you're
providing
doing
that.
exactly the same thing how you were raised, but you just said
No.
that you don't want to do the same thing?
Well, the thing that I changed about my childhood is the fact that I actually got with someone good to help me raise my child. My mom did not do that. She was just very selfish, and she got with someone that didn't really
Care about you.
care.
I see.
That's the change I did.
What about for you? What would you change?
A lot of shit.
For example,
Well, for one, I probably got stupid genes somewhere because me and my brothers
Probably.
is so genius, but my parents, for some reason, so stupid. So they got lucky.
so they're not naive or ignorant. It's just stupid.
They're stupid. I look back at their pictures, they were like that fucking good-looking fucking bimbo couple. And it's like, oh, you guys are those fuckers. And then they fucking popped out two ugly children that were really smart. Yeah. And then we outsmarted our parents at like elementary school or something. I was inquisitive. I was like, why do I have to go to school? And then they were mind blown, like, what do you mean? That's common sense. You fucking stupid. And I was like, but it's a genuine question. Why do I gotta go? Because you need to have a job. Why do I have to have a job? Because you need money. Why do I need money? See, I had a lot of questions as a kid. And I think the thing that I would do is I would explain shit because kids would teach you that you don't fucking know shit if you can't explain it.
That's why you gotta beat your kids.
What?
That's what happened to me.
Well, that's what happened. I'm gonna say is like a lot of parents get frustrated because they don't know how to respond to a kid. Because it does like expose the fact that people do things without really true thought, and we're all guilty of that too.
Yeah.
Especially me. So
For
like,
sure.
like for example, if my kid came up to me, he was like, well, how do you solve this quadratic equation? Like, shut the fuck up and go to your room.
You would not do that. You
It would just be like, it's kind of like, oh shit, I really don't know what the fuck that is. I mean, I'm not gonna go out of my way to learn a fucking quadratic equation, but I'll go help let somebody know he's here. You ask this fool, he's smarter than me. He'll teach
But
you.
now you can change that parenting style because Google exists.
That's
So
right.
you could be like, go to your fucking room, use Google, come out in 5 minutes, and you teach daddy, or else I'm gonna fuck your ass up.
There you go.
Nice.
Because now with Google, you can figure out how to do anything.
I think I think for me it was more cultural, so it was similar to you where it's like you ask a question, it's like, why are you talking back to your elders? Like, you and I were not on the same like playing field, so you should never be questioning me ever. So that's kind of how I grew up, but it was mainly because of the culture too, where it's like, well, adults are here, kids are here. So, I mean, I would still want to, I guess, kind of maintain that just for the sake of respect. But then I would be more open to like explaining thoroughly and walking them through the process.
But there's a difference between being curious and asking questions and being disrespectful.
Yeah.
I think
For sure.
we were just curious, but then we were so frustrated that they weren't listening that we became disrespectful and we were talking back. But I think what my mom told me though is she was like, "You woke me up. You asked me questions, you were so smart, and I didn't know the answer, so I just beat you."
Oh my God.
And I'm all like, damn, that's tight. You fucking realize that now when it's too late and I'm all old and broken.
You know, one time I was at Disneyland and I was washing my hands and I was about to get in line, and there's this white dad with the white kid.
Like, oh.
And then the white kid.
Oh, great.
And the white kid, he was like washing his hands and he was kind of taking his time and stuff. And the dad was like, "Hey, you have to hurry up." And he goes, "You see that line behind us? The longer that you take, the longer it takes for them to get in line, for them to want to do the fun stuff. Don't you want to do the fun stuff?" And I'm like, fuck, explanations. Because for Asian families, it's like, "Bah, hurry the fuck up." And then you're just like, "What happened? What? I thought you said I have to wash my hands. There's bacteria." And I'm like, dude, that's so amazing, because now they're able to use their critical thinking skills, and in any other situation, they can be like, "Oh shit, there's a line. I have to hurry up," and they can move way faster.
I think for you, I would change up the question just a little bit because it seemed like you were like those
In
easy
the
to
white
raise.
family.
No. It has nothing to do with you being white, but it just sounds like you were that kid that was just like that. You would just follow rules. I mean, were you that?
Yeah, maybe depending on, because no matter what parenting style you have, you're kind of getting a lottery of children, right?
Absolutely.
So you could get like a child that's just naturally slow and he's always gonna be slow, or you can get the kid that's just really quiet and likes to play in her room and like she's just gonna behave no matter what, or you could get a Joe
Or a Bart.
or a Bart that's
The wonderful one.
so no matter what.
So you win the lottery.
I get scared if my kid comes out slow though.
No, well, but for you though, it seemed
Yeah.
like you were that quiet kid that like your dad put his foot down or whatever, and you're like, "Okay, I get it, pops. Let me do what you want me to do."
Yeah, he
But-
probably didn't have to try.
Right. So let's say now you have a Joe. Does your parenting style change then? Or you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you know what? It worked for me. Freedom. Do you?"
That's true. I guess I would have to see when I'm in the situation, but I think it just all boils down to doing the explanation thing still. Like, if he's bad and I explain it to him, and if he doesn't understand it, then I think the corporal punishment is gonna come in.
Oh,
You
shit.
do believe in corporal punishment?
She's from Texas. She's not no weak ass California girl.
But only
That's
if you're doing everything up to the point, like you're explaining it over and over and over, it's been like 2 or 3 times you already told them, then they're still not listening, they still don't care, then
Just choke him out real quick.
Time
You
to
need
drown
to
the
have
motherfucker.
more patience though. With kids, it needs to be at least 10 times, and then you get like
I'll
that.
have to ask
Sock him
Tiffany
in the
then.
head.
For me, it was probably 50.
But I also think it depends on how stern you are. Because I think some kids, it's just like dogs. Like some owners, they let the dogs run all over them.
True.
But I've seen like a lot of Asian style parenting where they don't even have to hit them. They're like, "Hey, stop that shit." And they're like, "Huh." It only takes like twice, and they're like, "Okay, don't do anymore."
I think that's how my dad was. He didn't have to like go beyond. He would just give me the look, and I would be like,
Yeah, I think it depends. You have to adjust to the kid. You have to adjust to the kid.
That's true, because my brother was really stubborn. Well, from what I've heard from my mom, so there's like a story where my brother, when he was 4 years old, it was in Korea, and, you know, in the wintertime in Korea, it's super fucking cold, it's snowing and shit. And my mom was like doing the dishes, and she goes, "John, like clean up your stuff," you know, right? And then he just ignores my mom. You know, my mom's like a scary woman, and she goes, "I'm not gonna ask you twice, clean up your stuff." And he goes, "No."
Oh.
Right? This is in Korean, by the way. And then she goes, "Really?" She goes, "You're not gonna do it?" She goes, "Then you can leave my house." Right? He goes, "Fine." This cute ass goes, gets his cute little
How old is
backpack. He's 4 years old. He gets his cute little backpack, starts putting his clothes in there. Right?
That's smart that he put
My
clothes in
teddy
there.
bear.
Yeah.
Most 4-year-olds have toys. toys.
My mom was like, oh really?
Candy.
She goes, that's funny. He goes, well, I got you all this stuff. So she strips him butt naked and kicks him outside the house in the middle of winter.
That's dope, but she didn't beat him yet.
But he's 4 years old, right? He's so stubborn. My mom said that he didn't start banging on the door until 20 minutes later.
Wow.
Butt naked.
Butt naked. 20 minutes later, he was freezing his little dick off. And then finally, after he goes, she hears, I'm sorry! And starts shouting out the door.
He's probably playing tic-tac-toe in the snow, having a good old time.
20 minutes, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, but he was really stubborn.
Yeah, you know, it's a funny thing that you say that because my mom wasn't there that much because she was always working. But kids are always watching. Even if you're not telling them how to live or giving them lectures or beating their ass, they're watching what you're doing. And you set the norm.
Yeah. True.
So her being up fucking early as shit, working, coming back, never complaining, that kind of set the tone to me. It's like, dude, don't fucking complain. Just do what you gotta do.
Taught you work ethic.
Yeah, and when I complain, I feel like a little ass because I'm thinking, fuck, my mom did it and she didn't complain. And on top of that, she was always happy. She always she had her moments of anger, but she bounces back immediately and she was always fucking positive about things. And that taught me like, fuck, dude, that they just become a role model by living.
That's exactly what my mom said. She said that you, by doing you, are gonna teach your kids more than you can ever lecture them. She's like, their kids are just a sponge. So they're gonna watch you. So if they see you sitting on the couch watching TV all day, relaxing, they're like, oh, that's the norm, that's what I'm gonna do. But if you're a hard worker and you respect elders and you open the door for people and you go, hey, and you address like senior citizens by like, hey, Mr., Mrs., whatever, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, there's respect, there's all these things. And most of most of the parenting exists in just you being you and not even in the lecturing.
Definitely, because I see that in Isaac.
Would you curse less in front of your kids?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah.
I did when Isaac started learning how to talk.
Okay,
Tell him why
so
I'm older.
I say no because originally that's what I thought, but going to her sister's house, her sister is like Busta Rhymes with curse words.
She's a poet.
She constantly curses all the fucking time, like, you fucking motherfucker, this motherfucker at work. And her kids are like the best kids I've ever seen. Super polite, calls me uncle, even though my eye shape is not even the same.
You don't need to pull your eyes if you're Asian.
Fine.
It's already cool.
Yeah.
Like, even though my eye shape's not even the same, and they're just the most well-behaved kids. They sit there, they excuse themselves after they're done eating. They don't just leave the table. They go, I'm done eating dinner, can I leave? And they're like the most proper kids. So I feel like if you do a really good job parenting, you can still be you and your kids can learn all the right things you want them to learn.